Hello people, this is Poorpl and today I'm going to be making a tier list of the human bones. I thought it would be interesting. This is like my area of study in a way. I'm right now making my master's dissertation and it is about some of these bones. And so in a way I thought it would be like in line to get this, to speak about it, to use as like a little bit of Halloween special thing. Like I'm pretty sure I will be posting the regular video on like the regular day. I don't remember which day it is, but hopefully that will be coming out regularly. But I'm thinking of like dropping this one a couple days before Halloween so that we have like a little special thing. It's not really going to be much of a Halloween thing, but whatever, you know. So yeah. For now, I will be doing them in the order that they are here, but there are some that I will like try to put in a specific order, but that's for when it comes. So the first thing I want to do is to pick a place where I can put the bones of the hand. So this is the phalanges, the metacarpals, and the carpals. And I'm saying these names, and that is from the tip of your fingers to your wrist. So you have 3 phalanges on 4 of your fingers, you only have 2 phalanges on your thumb, and you have the metacarpals between your wrist and your like fingers. And then the region of your wrist is the carpal bones, and that's why people call it carpal tunnel disease and stuff. That's because the tunnel that you have there gets kind of smooshed. I'm not really sure. I'm not in medicine, so but yeah. And I think that this, just because of its functionality, deserves to be in a like high score, like maybe A or so, or B. But I'm saying B because it also is prone to get some like issues later in life, you know. The articulations have lots of issues and all of that, but at the same time, like we are because of the possibility of like opposable thumbs and all of that. So although it has some issues, I still think it's important enough to be on A tier, and so it's going to be there. Okay, it's not really that important for survival. Like if you break your wrist, you're not going to die, but you know, it is what it is, bro. Next up, we have the ribs. The ribs, I think they are deserving of a higher place, so at least an A or B tier, because of how many organs they protect. Like, of course, if you break a rib, you're not going to die, but they are there for a reason. You need them for a lot of stuff, and I think they generally look kind of cool, you know? I don't love working with them because they are kind of frail, but they are really cool, and for that, I'm going to be putting them on A tier. Oh fuck, A tier. Now, for the radius is one of the bones you have on your forearm. However, I kind of dislike the way that the forearm works. And so I think I'm going to need to put it on like a kind of low tier. When you're like turning your hand around and stuff, you are crossing the bones on your forearm, and I don't like that. That irks me out a lot. And for that reason, this is going at the most to a C tier. I'll maybe drop this lower. Like if I feel like dropping the hand to a B, I'll also drop this to a D. Now is the hyoid bone. It is very cool in some ways because it's like the only bone that doesn't articulate with any other bone directly. But at the same time, it's kind of weird, you know, like it's frail, it's on your neck, so like if you hit your neck or if someone like grabs you by the neck, which shouldn't be happening to most people, but if that happens, it's easy to break. And it kind of just is there, you know, like it gives structure to your throat's cartilage and stuff, but it's just there. Like it also helps with like your tongue muscles, but it's just there. So I don't really care too much about it. Like, it's not one of the bones that you're like, yeah, if you don't have this, you are going to die, like what we are going to see next. So I'm going to put it on C2. Next, we have the neurocranium. So I divided the skull into two parts, into three if you count the hyoid as part of the skull. But this is the bones that are protecting your brain. So these are the bones that make up the space inside your head where the brain supposedly is. I can't like be sure about if mine is there, but there's a space. I have checked that there's a space. The neurocranium is very cool in that way because it's extremely important. It houses the brain, which is an incredible organ, and we are only who we are as a species because of how impressive the brain is, and this is protecting it. So this, I kind of forgot the number of bones here. My professor would be so mad if they heard me say this, but it's a bunch of bones, including bones that you generally cannot see because they are inside of your head, like inside of your nose, inside of your eye sockets, and it's very important. So yeah, I'm going to be putting this on S tier. It's my first S tier. Now I'm going to not do those two. I'm going to go to the facial bones, which is the rest of your skull. This is like the bones around your nose, the bones under your eyes, the bones like your jaw bones. This is important. It's interesting. It's all of that. But at the same time, I'm kind of like with the hands thing because it has the teeth sockets and people are always getting issues on their teeth. It has the sinuses, like the holes. That's also always getting clogged up in people. That's a mess. So I think like although it's very important, design wise it's terrible. So I'm going to give it a B. Yeah, a B. It's still more important, at least to me, than the radius or the hyoid. So yeah, it's a B. Now we are going. Oh, I put this twice. I put the atlas twice. So I will end up like letting one atlas be here. So for now, let's just do it anyways. I will let one atlas at the left side of the tier maker stuff, but don't worry. In my opinion, this is the coolest bone. It's not even because of like just its utility or whatever. This is one of the coolest. I'm going to say it like that because I think that his lower brother is also very cool. This is the bone that connects the spine, like your back, the vertebra. It's the first vertebra of your neck, so it's connected to the skull, and I like it a lot. So I'm going to put it in S tier. I don't need to give more justification than that. Okay, that is what it is. And so I'm going to talk about the axis now. The axis is the second vertebra of the neck. It connects directly to the directly. There's a little give, a little bit of padding in the middle, but it connects to the atlas, and this is responsible for your ability to turn your head sideways. Because of how it works, it has a little pivot thing, and for that reason, I am also going to give it S tier. Do not come for me, okay? Next up, I'm not really sure because the image is too small, like on the preview, but I think it's the fibula, and the fibula is kind of exactly the same thing as the radius, like the way it works. It's not as bad on the leg, like this is a bone you have on your lower leg. But yeah, it's still something I don't really like this bone, and so I'm going to give it a B grade. It's there. It's not as bad as like the radius because the radius actually crosses and this one doesn't cross with its neighbor, which is the tibia. I think it's this one. The tibia, however, I'm going to give it one grade higher just because it supports a lot of weight and it isn't as weird. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, after putting the tibia there, I'm going to grab the humerus. No, not the humerus. The ulna. Yeah, I'm going to grab the ulna, which is the equivalent of the tibia, but of your forearm. I'm giving it a lower grade than the tibia because I also gave the radius a lower grade, but yeah, you get what I mean. It's crossing with the radius, so I don't really like that. So, but it's a fun, like looking bone. It looks like not an Allen wrench. I forgot the name you give to this. If I find it, I'll put an image on the screen. But yeah, it's not all that. I don't like it. I don't love it. It is what it is. Now let's talk about let's talk about the like other general vertebra because we already talked about the two first. I think they are very important. They hold your spinal cord. They allow you to like be up and shit. But they are not as fancy like the others. Like I'm excluding the sacrum and the coccyx. So I'm just talking about the lumbar, um, thoracic, and cervical vertebra. I'm not talking about what's below that. But yeah, it's they are important, but I don't think they are like as cool. And just because I don't think they are as cool, I'm going to put them below the ribs thing. So they are on B tier. Again, this is my tier list. I don't need to justify myself, okay? So now what is missing of the upper limb? Yeah, we are still missing the humerus. The humerus is the bone that goes from your shoulder to your elbow. It's very cool. It's a straightforward like bone. The distal part, like the little thing on your elbow, it looks very cool. It has like a little hole in the middle. And I think it just looks cool. It's kind of a pain in the ass if you have like a section of the middle to find which side it belongs to. But otherwise, I really like this bone. It has like very pronounced places where the muscles connect to the bone. Like the deltoid region is insanely like noticeable in a lot of them, but I don't think they are like that impressive. So I'm probably also going to put them in B, maybe A tier. I might be giving like the bones too much, some bones too much credit. So I'm going to put this one in B, and I'll restructure some of the other bones to other places. So this is going to stay in B. The ulna is going to go down to C, and the radius is going down to D. And what else was there? Yeah, the hand is going down one, and yeah, I'll probably leave it as is for now. So now I'm just missing one bone of the legs, and that one is the femur. The femur is a very like easy to notice bone. It's the bone that's responsible for like holding all your weight. Like the most weight of any bone is this one, and you like it's very resistant to like breaking and stuff. And when it breaks, it's terrible, but it's very fucking strong. It's the heaviest bone, like the heaviest single bone I think in your body. And it's really dense. I really like it. And so I'm probably going to give it a high grade. Yeah, I'm going to give it A because it's very interesting and all that. But I'm giving it A, so I must give the tibia a B and the fibula a C, just to like stay internally consistent. Now I'm going to be talking about the sternum. The sternum isn't something I have thought about a lot. Like it's kind of complex. It has a few parts, um, but I mean, besides the fact that it kind of looks cool if it has like a xiphoid process at its bottom, which some like I think everyone has a xiphoid process. but some are like bifurcated, which is very cool. And it usually doesn't really change the way that your body works, but it changes the way it looks, and I find it very cool. But still, I don't think it's that impressive. It's just holding your ribs together. That's kind of cool. I'm going to give it a B. I like kind of feel like an asshole. Like my opinions are milk toast because I'm giving everything a B. But yeah, it kind of makes sense. Oh yeah, I forgot one of the leg bones. It was here all along, but I forgot it. It's the patella. This is your kneecap. This, I think it's a mid bone. Like, why not just have it like your elbow has, and not need a third bone, a third no, a fourth bone on your leg? Like, why not just have two bones connecting? It sounds weird, like too much complexity. It's screwing up the way that stuff works. So I think it's worth it to be on the same level as the tibia, fibula, and the tibia. No, the fibula, ulna, and the hyoid. So it's C tier. It's just a bone, I know, but I don't know. I don't really care about it too much. Now, since oh fuck yeah, I forgot something. I will try to draw it and put it like in post, in a way, like just stick a image there. But I kind of forgot about the tarsals. So the tarsals are the bones of your foot, which are like making your ankle. So they are the bones between where your egglands, like your tibia and fibula, connect to these bones, and then these bones will connect to the other little card I have here that I will show next. And so these are the bones that are responsible for like the curve per se on your ankle, and why your feet like touch the ground that way instead of you having to grow to walk or fuck to walk around on your tippy toes like some animals do. I mean, it's a mess. I don't really like the design per se of it. So I'm going to give that specific part a C tier, but I don't really dislike the way that the fingers work. Like they are very good at absorbing impacts, and so I'm going to give the metatarsals and foot phalanges an A tier. Oh, fuck. So take that for what it is. Now we have three more groups of bones. I will start with two that are connected, and I probably should have done earlier, but I kind of got mixed up while doing this. There's no particular order, and so I'm going to be talking about the clavicles now. The clavicles, they have utility in like moving your shoulders and your arms, but I don't think they are as valuable as the shoulder blades, the scapulas. And for that reason, I'm going to give them a B, because in my opinion, the scapulas are higher. But it's still very cool. And the scapulas, they are built for you to be able to like hang from your arms, for you to be able to like lift your arms above your head to move them slightly backwards, stuff like that. And for that reason, I think that they are very cool. Like they are one of the things that makes us human. And so, and I don't think there's like a lot of issues. Sorry for the noises. I don't think there is like a lot of issues with the scapulas. I could be wrong. But yeah, I think they are very interesting, and so I'm going to put them on A tier. And now I'm just missing the hip bones. I don't like the way the hip bones and like all of that thing works. This is the hip bones, the coccyx, and the sacrum. Like there's a lot of issues that can happen, especially with like the sacred vertebrae. But I don't really care that much. And it's a group of bones that has massive utility to like find if someone is male or female, like. And I'm going to drop this on A tier. Yeah, I think it's solid, it's valid. And for now, I'll leave it on A tier. And yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot the whole Halloween thing. This ended up being what it is. Thanks for watching, I think. If you have something you disagree with me, or like a group of bones or a bone that you think I should have talked about and I didn't, tell me. If you think there's like something about bones that you want me to talk about, you can also just tell me and I'll try to make like a little video about osteology. I enjoy it. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. Sorry also if I got some stuff wrong. I probably did. I'm not usually I'm not used to recording stuff, especially talking about what I enjoy doing. And so this was very different for me, even if it's not like all that different from most of my content. I mean, it's different from most of it, but I already did some talking stuff, so yeah. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.